Max Knightman. Following all this information is like following tracking on Amazon. Sure, for real. It will all arrive tomorrow. Tracking delayed in transit, bro. That is so true. Right? Like, that's exactly it. That's it. That's it. It's like your DoorDash driver on an endless trip to your house with the food. You know, you ever seen it before where you're watching it? You can see it on the map, you know what I mean, on your phone, and you see the car, and then it jumps back like 5 miles. You're like, what happened? Or it's just stuck at one street forever. You're just like, what's going on? And then it just jumps across to something else. You're just like, oh man, my stuff is never getting here. Right. It does feel like that, Max. That's hilarious. Gem Girl. What's up, Gem Girl? She says, even if they release anything, they'll still keep us from whatever they want. Unfortunately, you don't know what you don't know. Well, great point, Gem Girl. Yeah, we wouldn't know what we were missing. It's a great point. We don't know what the prize is entirely. We don't know the details, so we wouldn't even know what we were missing. If we got something, we wouldn't know if it was all or not, right? That's a great point. And you're exactly right. I mean, it just seems like, again, there's two parts to the Epstein thing as a sample for what's going to happen with UAP, right? One, they put it out to the online influencers in a information campaign that's, you know, again, is used in Washington and in DC in the executive branch to release information to journalists and that, but this time it was used for influencers, and they let them with the information out first. But the second part of that is the information they gave them was not, you know, not the thing they thought they were getting. So it's just twofold. It's like, and then the task force doesn't know about it. It just keeps getting worse. Every element you look into it, right? It's just worse and worse. There's nothing good about it. Now, maybe they'll uncover something crazy in the phone book, but his phone book, like, what? We waited all this time just to get Jeffrey Epstein's phone book? The dude's like the biggest, you know, I can't say the word. I'm not trying to get struck on stream, but y'all know that guy was horrible, right? And the worst in the world, you know, just the worst. And that's what we get after all this time. It's a joke. So again, that's not looking good for UAP. I want to be optimistic, but I'm also real. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's like we're in a relationship we should have broken up a long time ago. You know what I mean? We're in a relationship we should have just got out a long time ago. You know what I mean? Atticus is back. Says Bondi has D-class authorization. That's true. Well, we'll see. Listen, I mean, I'm glad people are bringing up positive points and trying to push the ball forward positively. I agree. And that needs to be part of the conversation. Okay. And it is true. Can't let our emotions get in the mix of this. I'm just kind of ranting on this live stream because, one, it's fun. And, you know, I don't typically do these things. So, but you're right. Look, there's some things could change. Something could happen. It's just not looking likely. But I hear you. Courtney Seidel just sent in $5. Well, thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much. You rock. Sean Ferguson says, we need to focus our energy on community efforts and grassroots, not rely on official paradigms. This is why you, Pat, are essential to the issue. You know what, Sean? I agree. I am essential to this issue. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I mean, thank you. But there are people, you know, much better off than me to that are better for the issue. But I totally agree. You know, there needs to be community efforts, grassroots. I totally agree, dude. Right? Like citizen disclosure, citizen journalism, looking into this to figure this out. At the end of the day, right? Because it's a global thing. And just because America doesn't release information or do whatever, that doesn't mean the rest of the world isn't doing something, or people just getting together in groups and doing it, right? Like, So I agree at the end of the day. And to be fair, disclosure and the truth can come from you in a way, right? Depending on what your standards of evidence are and how much time and effort you put into the topic, you might be able to find out the truth and disclosure yourself, right? Waiting around for the government to give us the answers is just, it's not going to happen. It's more like the government, what we're trying to do with the government isn't that we'll get the answers, is that they can help enact laws to help us better understand the answers. Let's take an example here that just came to me. Slavery, civil rights, right? Humanity knew that was wrong well before it was ever made into a law, right? The reality was this is not good. And it took a long time for the government, right, to enact laws to help us better understand that answer. And that's a perfect example. Same thing with civil rights to the 60s. I mean, when my mom moved to this country from Mexico, they still had separated water fountains. When I was in elementary school, it was only like 10, 15, 10, less than 10 years before they had unsegregated schools in Texas, somewhere along those lines. I didn't even know that till I was older. You know what I mean? It's like it takes a long time for the government to catch up to what is obviously right to humanity and what we know to be the truth, right? So it's the same thing with UAP. That the truth isn't going to come from them. We'll have the truth out for a long time, and then eventually they'll catch up in some press conference and do something again to help enact laws to help us better understand the phenomena. But God, I'm just realizing that now, like that's not where the answers are going to come from at all. It might help us get there, but not really. I don't know. This is fun. This is fun to talk about this, and this is fun to kick this around and think about it. Great points, great questions from everybody.